Okay, so I have a video here today for a Endgame Titan build using Stasis, which sounds like a bit of a meme considering the state of Titan Stasis right now, but I still think Behemoth does have a place in Endgame PvE at least. And it did get me through Glassway Grandmaster last season when other meta options failed me, like Ursa and Bubble and Thunder Crash. So anyway, here is an endgame Titan build using Stasis. The key components of this build are, of course, the Stasis subclass, using Cryoclasm for the enhanced sliding, and then Howl of the Storm for launching a wave of Stasis energy crystals toward a target when you slide. Um, so, and again, I think this is viable for Grandmasters, Master Nightfalls, raids, basically endgame PvE. If you can play it well, if it fits your playstyle, I think it's very viable. So basically, let's get into it. So the build revolves around kind of mobility and picking and choosing your openings carefully, and then being very fast and deadly when you do move in for a kill. So that's why I like Cryoclasm with Dune Marchers, actually, because of an increased sprint speed and sliding. It actually pairs with Cryoclasm really well. It makes you very mobile. You can just slide into cover really fast. So the core gameplay loop of this build, like I said, is to watch for openings. You stun or freeze a champion and then rush in, slide, freeze it with Howl of the Storm, and then burn it down as fast as possible. So how that works is it does work better in a team, and like I said, Grandmasters, raids, you're going to have a team, so maybe not the best for solo play, but someone stuns a champion or even just freezes them. You can also stun him yourself if you get close enough. But basically, you slide, you do Howl of the Storm, which procs the Dune Marcher arc melee damage, and then this season, there's actually a mod called Thermoclastic Strike, where Stasis Melee disrupts combatants, which are overloads. So this is really good for overloads because it freezes them and stuns them all in one hit, activates the Dune Marcher Blast, and the last part of this is activates Trench Barrel on a shotgun. You can probably see where this is going. So you stun a champion with Stasis Melee, do a AoE blast that stuns other targets, including the champion, and then gives you a 50% damage boosted shotgun for 3 shots. Last season in Glassway Grandmaster, I used 7 Seraph CQC with Trench Barrel lead from gold to help with the ammo. Worked really well, came in clutch multiple times. Currently, I'm pairing this with the shotgun from this season with Trench Barrel full auto for that increase in rate of fire. And then Tactical Mag gives you 6 in the mag, so that's shoot 3, melee again, shoot 3 more. Reload speed masterwork there. So that works really well for burning down champions really fast. If you like shotguns in endgame, I think this is how you do it. If you want to be an ape in PvE, this is the build. So basically, in the Stasis class, then I do the grenade is kind of optional. Depends on what you want it for. Like Glacier is good for cover. I think Dust Fields are better for like freezing an enemy. Anyway, the fragments I'm using are Whisper Fractures, which your melee energy recharges faster when you are near 2 or more targets. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, Howl of the Storm is how you stun champions, make cover, etc. So more melee energy, the better. Damaging targets with Stasis Melee reloads your stored weapons and grants you a temporary boost of weapon ready speed. Again, this pairs extremely well with the melee running gun because you freeze and stun a champion with your melee. Well, guess what? Your weapons have very increased ready speed, and they're automatically reloaded, so you never have to worry about, oh, is my shotgun loaded for burning down this champion? It just always is ready. And then finally, Whisper of Chains. While you are near frozen targets or a friendly stasis crystal, you take reduced damage from targets. The This also pairs really well because when you are near a frozen enemy, like a frozen champion, well, you have damage resistance. So that helps keep you safe while you're, burning down a champion with a shotgun. So, weapon picks, I would recommend. So if you want like absolute constant Hollow of the Storm spam, you can do Monte Carlo with anti-barrier auto rifle. But with 100 strength and the fragment of Whisper of Fractures and an auto rifle with Wellspring, I don't think that's really necessary. And it could get rough if you miss your melee, especially on an overload. So that's why it works better in a team, because they can, stun with a bow or something, and then you can rush in and stun them again. Again, it's usually easier with teamwork, so I'm not saying this is the most viable solo build. But if you have Monte Carlo, then you can get that howl back if you miss almost instantly anyway. So, something to consider. Second weapon should be very high DPS weapon. Like I said, my personal pick is shotgun, since Trench Barrel is activated automatically. I'm sure you could definitely use a fusion rifle too, or Bastion for unstoppables, or even a sword. That's the same kind of idea there. Another viable pick would be Fourth Horseman with Catalyst. Ammo is more of an issue there, but if you want a ton of damage really fast, that's a good one. So, last weapon can be whatever works best, but I would recommend a linear fusion or fusion rifle to pair with the particle deconstruction mod from this season, because that's kind of going to be the meta mod for boss damage. And it gives you a ranged option too. As far as mods and stats go, pretty self-explanatory. Resilience for the barricade, 100 recovery, 100 strength for that maxed out Hollow of the Storm. Using Radiant Light for that extra 20 strength. That's how I got there. That's this Charged with Light mod here. It gives you an extra 20 strength bonus. And then since my other stats are pretty low, like our auto rifle with Subsistence and Demolitionist would work really well to kind of make up for your super low grenade energy, since all my stats are in recovery and strength. So let's see, I'll just go through my mods real quick, just so you can kind of see. Hands-on super energy melee kills, shotgun ammo finder, both go well for this build. Reactive pulse, so you can't usually burn down an overload, especially by yourself, in one magazine of shotgun, but you can usually get them to finishing range, so then you can finish them, and this is where this mod is really nice, because it gives you an overshield while doing a finisher, so it keeps you very safe during that animation. Secondly here, shotgun dexterity, again, faster ready speed of shotguns is very good for what you're trying to do here. Anti-barrier auto rifle, radiant light for that extra strength. Chest, definitely want damage resist mods on here. In GMs, sniper damage is almost a must-have. Melee damage, since you're going to be close to enemies, this is helpful. Then Charged with Light, taking charge mod there. And then Dune Marchers. I like Shotgun Holster, of course, with the mod that reloads your weapons at melee hit. You probably don't even need this one, so you could do Scavenger or something else. Protective Light, obviously, is an amazing mod to have on there. And then lastly, like I said, these two seasonal mods, this one to stun overloads, this one to give you damage bonus with fusion rifles or linear fusion rifles. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to show some gameplay after this video here of just kind of how it works. And like I said, it got me through some very hard content last season, and this season it's even better because you have a mod that lets your melee actually stun something. So if you like being right in enemies' faces, this is probably the way to do it. I can't think of any better way to just charge into enemies, especially in high-end content. Again, Behemoth Super is not the best right now, but you can make yourself a ton of cover with it, and like in the boss room of Glassway, I used it mainly to freeze the big wyverns that come in and punch them out the door. So I'd freeze them, punch them, and give a space, and just make cover with the crystals, and it actually saved the day multiple times. after we tried using Bubble on Ursa. I mean, we tried this like 20 times, and this is ultimately the build that I felt worked the best. So it's not going to be the best for every piece of content, but it worked for me. So maybe you'll find it useful too. Thanks for watching.